8 times 3 minus 2 plus 4 divided by 2 times 3/4 minus 1 is equal to what? Let's go. All right, we're trying to simplify this big expression, which means we have to use the order of operations. You always have to use the order of operations when you're simplifying expressions in math. And the order of operations you can remember by PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, those go together. Addition and subtraction, those go together. This is the order in which you have to simplify if you want to get the problem right, and of course you do. So we've got to do parentheses first. Well, there are no parentheses, so that's easy. How about exponents? That's the E. We got to do that next. There are no exponents. We don't have to do that either. Now we do multiplication and division, and what's important is you see I bracketed these off here. These go together from left to right. We don't do multiplication first, then division second. That's not what this means. We do them together from left to right because really multiplication and division are the same thing. So multiplication and division go together from left to right. So we've got an 8 times 3 here, that's a 24. And we've got a 4 divided by 2 here, that's a 2. We still have a times 3/4, but since that involves fractions, I'm gonna rewrite that as a separate step that we're gonna do in a minute. So we've done the multiplication and division that we can, although we'll have to come back to this one in a moment. Let me write in the rest of the work we had. We have a -2, we have a plus of this result. So see, we added this division result that we just got, that was the 2 here. And we have to subtract the 1 over here. Okay, so we've done step 1, we've taken care of some of the multiplication and division. But we still have this 2 times 3/4 that we're dealing with. And so here, this is where I think it's probably helpful to start taking problems off to the side because you're probably not super confident in fractions. If we've got to do 2 times 3/4, what I like to do is I like to make a little side problem in the margins to make sure that I can do this problem correctly. I think you should do this as well. So we're going to do 2 times 3/4. And 2, really, when I think of multiplication with fractions, I should think of 2 as 2 over 1 because that's what 2 is. And now I can think more naturally about the fractions and say, well, 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 4 is 4, but I can cross cancel first and I can say, well, that and that can both be divided by 2, leaving a 1 in the numerator and a 2 in the denominator. And that makes my multiplication a little cleaner where now I've got 1 times 3 is 3 for my numerator and 1 times 2 is 2 for my denominator. So we've taken off this little side problem to handle this part right here. And we realize that this multiplication problem has a value of 3/2. So let's go back now and fill in all the rest. We had 24 minus 2, then we're adding that 3/2 that we just got from above, and then we're gonna subtract 1. All right, let's go back to our order of operations. Parentheses, no. Exponents, no. Multiplication and division, yeah, we just knocked those out. Now we're down to addition and subtraction. And again, you go from left to right with addition and subtraction. We don't do the addition first, and then the subtraction second. That's not how this works. We do them together at the same time, left to right. So, okay, we've got 24 minus 2. That's easy. Let me get another color here. 24 minus 2, that part here is 22. Then we're going to add 3/2. Then we're going to subtract 1. Well, we've got adding of fractions, which means we're going to need to get a common denominator. And if you look at all these answers, a lot of them are in fraction form. So we probably got to get a fraction form here. 22, I'm going to think of that as 22 over 1. And 22 over 1, I want to get a common denominator with 3/2 here so that I can actually have these fractions communicating. How can I do that? I'm going to multiply this numerator by 2 and this denominator by 2 because then I'll have 2 for my denominator of this fraction, and then I will have common denominator. Likewise, with this 1, we're going to need a fraction too. So this is currently 1 over 1, and I'm going to write that as times 2 in the numerator and denominator so I get this all in terms of halves. Let me do a little cleanup here on aisle 3. Okay, and now we've got this problem. So let's simplify this down, and we're almost there, folks. 2 times 22 is 44 for the numerator. 2 times 1 is 2 for the denominator. That gives us an improper fraction that we're going to use in a moment. Then we're going to add that to 3/2, and then we're going to subtract. Well, this one's easy. This is 2 over 2. We're going to subtract 2 over 2 at the end. All right, well, now we've got just addition and subtraction. We did the work to get common denominators. Let's just add the fractions. 44 plus 3 is 47. Minus 2 is 45. So the numerator is 45. All of the denominators were 2, which means we can keep it. This was 45/2, so this whole problem simplifies down to 45 over 2, which means our answer is C. And if you got it, good thinking.